Jam jam! Jam jam! Ooh!
Hey, what is up everyone? I'm Daffy Duck here from the likes of the Merxy Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you our next installment of the Super Monkey Ball Redo Let's Plays department. This time around is the second entry of the forms of the Wii series of, well, obviously Super Monkey Ball duology of games as for this point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you our redo Let's Play of Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. I can't even believe that this game came out in 2010, and we're right now in 2020, so this means this game will be entirely a decade old, which I can't believe the time itself is going flying by, but either way though, we'll dive right into the forms of the actual main game itself, so yeah, let's press the A button, just like how you normally do, from the likes of Banana Blitz, except, well, we'll discuss more now as soon as we dive right in. So, from the get-go, we actually got ourselves the actual main menu right here, well, just like the forms of how it does on the previous game for sure. And the main unique selling point to this game, as you can clearly tell on screen, now is the forms of that Wii balance board on that particular top right corner. However though, we're probably not going to activate that, just like the forms of our redo Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, because, well, you probably get the idea for that. And also, because we're still upstairs, this means that I don't think we can able to appropriately play that on the Wii balance board upstairs, but only downstairs department though. So, anyways, the main thing for the actual Let's Play is obviously we're going to be going on to the main game here, so even then I will dive right in. And unlike the forms of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, that we actually got about 6 playable characters, well 4 we all know, and 2 from new introduced on that specific game, which is of course Yen Yen and Doctor. So even then, for this game in particular, as well as 3D and Banana Splits in general, we're actually going back into 4 playable characters, which we still have Ai, Mimi, Baby, and Gon Gon. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get started right here by going and select the main monkey himself, Ai, right here, and before we dive right in, there are a few different modes we can able to go through, such as, well, there's a single play, which we'll probably get into in just a moment, and there's also co-op play, which basically this allows you to able to let your teammate get able to actually have a second Wii remote with you, but we'll discuss more on that later. And practice is still a thing, and also marathon, which this allows you to go from one stage to the next within one giant playthrough, which I don't think I can able to show you guys for that, honestly, just because we don't feel like it. And also the Jam Dojo is basically, it's like a how to play kind of game. So yeah, let's dive right into the actual world map right there. And as you can see right there, we haven't got that much worlds in this game because, well, since in Monkey Ball Banana Blitz we have like 8 main worlds, including 2 special worlds, which there are World 9 and 10 for Sinking Swamp and Ultra Heaven. But in here we only got, well, you get like 6 main worlds from the start, and the 7th and the final world whenever you're trying to complete the game. I would say normally or without using the continue. I haven't really looked upon that game all that much, but either way though, we'll just simply just get on to the actual stuff. So anyways, from the get-go though, we're going to be getting started with Monkey Island, and much like the forms of how I normally done it for, well, usually Piglet has already done a redo Let's Play of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz during the forms of 2019, we're going to be going through world to world while selecting the different playable character monkeys. So either way, yeah, let's just dive right into the forms of the first world in this game, which is of course Monkey Island, which is practically the same name as you remember from Banana Blitz. So, except, well, we'll dive right in as soon as we skip that little tutorial thing right there, which, yeah, basically it tells you how to play the game. So yeah, let's jump right in. Yeah, and every time you get into the world, the new character introduced in the Monkey Ball series, well, at least in the 2010 era, basically we introduced into ourselves Jam, which I'm not kidding, that's what his name, by the way. And basically he loves to interact with all these kinds of stuff before you dive right into the actual worlds themselves. So yeah, that's something's worth mentioning. So, yeah, this is Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. If you played Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz before, you know exactly how it sounds, assuming if you play it on the Wii Remote controls, because yes, this game also does allow you to use the Wii Remote on its own, including a nunchuck for most of the party games, which I'm probably not going to discuss on that until when it gets to later on. So either way, as far as you might as well know something right from the start though, is the fact that obviously the actual main selling point of this game is of course the Wii Balance Board controller, which as far as this name applies, step and roll, meaning that you're going to be able to either tilt with the Wii Remote, or you can able to tilt your body for specific fitness when it comes to the Wii Balance Board. You know, kind of like how it did on, you know, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, and even Wii Fit. So, but as far as you can clearly tell from this point, the main goal is pretty much exactly the same as you remember from the previous Monkey Ball games for sure, except, well, the noticeable difference between this game than the likes of how it does it on Banana Blitz is that Banana Blitz does have boss battles. In here, well, obviously, not only does it not bring back the boss battles here and now this time around, but also, if you can clearly tell on screen, there is no jump button this time around, because I'm pretty sure this might be something to do with the actual criticism with the forms of Banana Blitz original release on the Wii. Mind you, because, you know, the original game Banana Blitz on Nintendo Wii came out in 2006, but it wasn't until for about I'm not going to count the iPhone version of the original Super Monkey Ball, because it's basically just the first half of Banana Blitz, but without any jump button feature. But this game came out, as I said before, in 2010, which I think it's roughly in February. I'm not exactly sure what that number date specifically though, but then again, I'll mention more on that until whenever we get to the next world. So, yeah, you probably get the idea. So either way, let us keep on moving for this point here. And also, much like Banana Blitz, is the fact that in order to actually get 1-ups in this game is that you have to, like, collect 20 bananas until able to get yourselves extra lives, which before when Super Monkey Ball 3D and Banana Splits as well, it will increase up to 10 more, so that makes 30 bananas, which I don't understand about the fact that why the old games did manage to offer us 100 bananas to give you an extra life, then in Super Monkey Ball Adventure, well, if you grab 50 of those bananas, it gives you a 1-up. And not only that, Touch and Roll gives you a 1-up if you grab 10 bananas, and Banana Blitz, including the HD remaster as well, and also this game in general as well. If you grab a 1-up, you have to grab like specifically 20 bananas each time. So, and also, if you pretty clearly tell at this point, is the fact that it actually goes back into the forms of the similar style as you remember from the forms of the past games. You know, like going through likely 10 stages all in one particular world. You know, kind of like the same thing for how it does in the past few games, for sure. Well, usually for the most likely for, you know, Sinking Swamp and Ultra Heaven from Banana Blitz, despite the fact that, well, the majority of every single world in Banana Blitz does offer us a boss battle at the end. So, yeah, you probably get the idea for that. So anyway, let's just go ahead and continue things moving forward, and I'll just keep on getting bombed by those random objects here and there. Now, for the most part, the first 3 worlds aren't that hard, but until when it gets likely until World 4 and beyond, it gets a little bit tricky and difficult, because if you couldn't tell already, differently from the likes of the previous games, well, at least ever since Journey Forms of Super Monkey Ball 2, does offer us a difficulty level on certain worlds. Mainly, the first world is basically just a 1 star out of 3 stars, mainly because this world is super easy and everything. And also, when we get to World 2, it gets 2 stars out of 3, and same applies to World 3. And especially noticeable with World 4, 5, and 6 gives us 3 stars out of 3, so that makes everything else will be significantly difficult, but then nothing compares to the forms of the 7th and the final world. Good God, why can I explain that particular world? Although, then again, we'll discuss more into that until later on for the majority of February as far as time's passed. So, yeah, because for the most part though, we didn't take a single life away in Journey Forms of this world so far. Probably because, as I said before, it's actually way easier. And after we've done 10 of these stages per world, we actually give us not only the vocal theme, as you can see right there, which is, for example, Emily McClain, vocals during the forms of Just Beyond the Rainbow, which it also brings us to the staff credits, which unlike Banana Blitz, these cannot be skipped, so you have to go for that specific stuff in order to actually just resume your gameplay time. Or you can able to, I don't know if it's possible, you can able to press the home button and just reset the game. Well, I'm pretty sure you might lose your progress if you're trying to able to do it that way, accordingly to that. So basically in this staff credits though, you know, it's kind of different. Well, usually all you have to do is just basically, it doesn't matter what controls you're going to be using, either the Wii Remote on its own or the Wii Balance Board. You can able to tilt the table and then just trying to guide these letter balls to the actual corresponding holes. It doesn't matter if it's in a circular simple shape or just a very simple center shape like the monkey icon or something like that. So, and as you can see on the top left corner, the points do count unless if the actual ball of the balls able to actually go into the holes themselves. Because if you're trying to guide them outside of the actual field, well, basically it does not count. Which we'll get to that until World 3, especially towards the very end of this. So either way though, we'll have to consider this a main factor for this point right there. Yeah, gotta think about it though, that's as far as I can usually say about it here. So, well, however though, there's one thing I will admit though right away. The only thing I don't like about this game compared to the rest of the series, well, aside from able to actually just the fake description of the collectible system, which I probably should talk about that more on that later, it's just that I'm not a big fan of how the level design works in this game, because, well, I mean, it's fine in the forms of Wii Balance Board mode, because this game really encourages you to able to use that controller for, you know, trying to balance you out, but when it comes to playing the game on the Wii Remote, however, though, it just gets a little bit frustrating, because, you know, with these little, obstacles, such as, like, the forms of those little, Titan, pole kinds of objects, you know, with these blocks that we've already come across into, they place it all over the place, and then as a result, whenever it gets towards at the very end of the game, oh man, it just gets so annoying, especially in World 7, and don't get me started on World 7 in this game, because let me tell you, World 7 is easily one of the worst final levels in any other Monkey Ball games, in my honest opinion. Well, aside from when 10-5 from the original Banana Blitz was bad enough, because, well, usually out of all the actual Super Monkey Ball games I've ever played for my whole entire life, this game might be actually be my second least favorite. I mean, my least favorite is probably, of course, Monkey Ball Adventure, because you know how many people seem to despise Monkey Ball Adventure so much. And I think this is one I actually did manage to play the least out of compared to the forms of the other games. I mean, the game's not terrible overall. I mean, usually I'll talk more about it whenever we get to the end of it. I mean, it's just a simple fact is, I think the level design in this game is actually, it's easily the weakest of the actual Monkey Ball games to me. I mean, it's not that fun to me. But, however, the game does have some fantastic music. It actually has the, probably the most uniquest world in the whole entire game, which we'll probably point it out at some point in next Monday or something like that, because, well, obviously if you couldn't tell already, I'm going to be uploading these during the forms of Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, just like the forms of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, basically. So, yeah, as far as I can say about it, but then again, we'll talk more about all of this until later on. So, yeah, I guess we'll pretty much get end things up here. So join me next time on Let's Play Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. Is the fact that we're going to be hit on to World 2, which I think it was actually by the forms of Extravagance in Sight or something like that. But anyway, see you guys on Wednesday. Later, fellas.